Hey, call me Shape, and today we're reacting to a video titled Hot Guys Are Brutal on Dating Apps and First Dates. Let's get right into it.
Modern dating, girls love to tell you that you need a great profile, solid openers, and plan an amazing first date. But in reality, the guys they actually swipe on and sleep with do not give a
Trying to start a conversation. Hey cutie, how's your weekend? Shit in my mouth.
So this guy says to me, oh, well, I showed your Instagram to my roommate and he said, oh, she's pretty, but she looks chubby in her photos. On a date, on an actual date.
The most unhinged things men have said to me while we were dating. One, yeah, there's a girl in my bed, but I left her to have breakfast with you.
I just had the worst first date of my life. Date invited myself along with 2 other women so that he could speed up the process of finding his perfect 3-way.
So Liam messaged saying, and the award for the biggest forehead goes to...
His opening message to me, I eat ass.
Do you like to be punished?
So, I was talking to this guy and he was literally ticking every single box.
It was a really hot guy that I matched with on Hinge.
He was good looking.
He has a driver, and it was a really nice car.
Too good to be true, right? He rang me up and he was like, I've just noticed your profile picture. And I can see on your profile picture that you've got a child. Why would I want to speak to anyone who had little cock blockers?
Yep, that's right. Hot guys do not give a f. But ironically, it is women who let them get away with it over and over again.
And I make my cute little profile like, oh, hi, I'm Morgan. Tee. And he's like one of the first ones that pops up. And he's gorgeous. Oh my God.
See, she picked the hot dude just for being hot, not because of some great bio and not because he planned a great first date.
So we pull up to this bar and this thing is like a hole, like a rat hole.
No personality.
When he's talking, all I hear is like, oh, football frats, b****s and skanks.
And being rude as f***.
Got his hand on my leg and I'm telling the story. He cuts me off in the middle of me telling my story and he goes, I just want you to know you're not my person. And so I was like, in my head, I'm sitting like, why would he just cut me the f off to say that?
Yep, this is what happens when women complain about men being trash. By the way, spoiler alert, he still f***ed the shit out of her later that night.
I'm not gonna tell you all the rest because like, I will be banned, but my God, what a night.
And so you see, the dating market is absolutely f***.
He did that and he still got the clap. That's all you gotta know.
The reality is, it's women who are rewarding this type of bad behavior.
And all I can think is, you catfished me and now you drop this bombshell and you still expect me to date you? Are you insane? But I kept dating him.
So why the hell would any of these guys ever change? Since if you have access to a buffet of pussy while being an asshole,
a Hinge notification pops up on his phone, like for everyone to see. It was like clearly out there. We both literally looked at it and then looked at each other, and then he carried on talking to me as if nothing had happened.
Then what's the incentive to treat any of these women with some basic level of respect? I mean, you can just tell them to their face to submit and obey.
To submit and obey to me. That is a direct quote.
And he's like, you know, you just need to be quiet and let me take the lead. You don't have to pretend to be someone you're not.
And then he was like, also you should know that anal is amazing on MDMA. And I was just like,
oh my God. Please drop a like if you think that these guys absolutely do not care anymore, and comment down below what you think. Now you just know that these women are gonna say that all men are trash, and that is why dating sucks right now. But we all know that the majority of men would never talk to a woman like that. But women are not.
Of course not, because the majority of men actually respect women. This is why we argue with them. And the unfortunate thing about women, what I've learned, and I've learned this over and over again, in fact, I learned it last night, is that the more you respect the woman, the less she respects you. And respect, a lot of people think respect is in the words, right? You know, respect really is in the behavior. If I choose to have a logical discussion with you, I'm showing you respect. If I avoid to have a logical discussion with you, I'm actually showing disrespect. The men that women respect are the ones who avoid logical discussions with them. Because women are in their emotions 24/7, right? And so they think with their feelings. And so if you never talk to them about really deep subjects, you're going to do fine. Keep it light. Keep it fun. Keep it exciting. You know, I make the mistake all the time where I talk to women about some real subjects and it always goes bad because I will approach the subject with logic. They will approach it with emotions. Emotions and logic don't understand each other, but somehow the woman gets upset and mad at me for being logical. That's why the best thing to do is just avoid certain conversations with women, even though that seems like the disrespectful thing to do. I know. Yeah. Life is in opposites, right? It's counterintuitive.
Dating the majority of men. They're only dating a small subsection.
So he picks me up, he's not bad looking, he has a nice car, he's pretty tall. Okay.
And so clearly, if you are an average guy, you need to get off the dating apps ASAP because they are a waste of time, waste of money.
I did pay, unfortunately, for Bumble Premium. It was hard. So I did 1 week, which I think was $29.99.
And there's so many better options to get dates as an average looking dude. And I might make a separate video breaking all of this down. But in this video, it's all about hot guys f***ing up the dating market and the women who let them. So instead, I'll throw in some fuckboy tips at the end just for funsies if you want to try it for yourself.
Let's plan to go on a date, like when you want to come down. And he was like, oh, is it okay if I stay over? And I was like, we all know what we're here for. Yes, you can stay over.
Letting a stranger stay over is concerning. But you know what's even more concerning? Not having health insurance. And that's why today's video is sponsored by Ishmael Stonewall. Take it from here, Ish.
Yeah, so thanks, Shape. So as we know, a lot of people are looking for health insurance right now. It's open enrollment. I offer free consultations to my clients. We work with small businesses, families, and individuals to find their best health insurance options. Now, we work with all major carriers, Aetna, Blue Cross, Cigna, and United, on their public and private networks. Typically, we save our clients about 20% on their premiums, and we get them PPO networks, which means nationwide coverage. So if anyone listening here could benefit from a consultation, maybe save some money on your insurance or find something better, hit me up, give me a call, give me a text, schedule with me, and I'll see if I can help you out. Let's go.
Yeah, so if you need health insurance or you're looking to reduce your premiums, give my buddy Ishmael a call and let him know Shape sent you.
Anyways, before we get into all of that, let's get back to the brutal reality of hot guys rampaging through the dating market, leaving a trail of emotional damage.
And I don't know, I just feel like in this day and age, in this generation with the apps and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, I just feel like it's hard. It's hard. I think it's hard. I think dating now is very hard.
If one more person says to me, don't worry, it'll happen when you least expect it, I have no expectations anymore. None. All I expect is trauma and lessons.
Now the guys that are causing all of this mess are drowning in pussy so much to the point that they don't even care about showing up for the date, and these girls just keep waiting there until they feel so embarrassed that they just want to cry.
You don't leave someone sitting alone waiting for you for 40 minutes.
Like, I almost cried because I felt so embarrassed.
Yeah, that's not great. But sadly, it can always get much, much worse because this girl took 2 days off of work, traveled all the way from Queensland to Melbourne on a 2-hour flight to spend the weekend with some dude she was talking to for the past weeks, only for him to ghost her the minute she landed.
He kept saying we need to catch up, and I was like, well, do you want me to come down Easter weekend? He said, absolutely. I landed this morning. We've been talking all day. I was meant to meet him this evening. I got all dressed up and ready to go. That was it. That was the last I've heard. Just vanished, poof, into thin air.
Ouch. That's got.
But here's the problem. Because you tell this story about how this happened to you, other girls want the same thing to happen to them because they want to keep up with the Joneses. And so they look for a moment where they could tell such a wild story, and they, inadvertently choose a guy that's going to take them down this similar path. Just ghost you. I've done this before. Not exactly this. No girl has ever flew into New Jersey to come see me and I just ghosted her. But I've ghosted girls. And it usually makes women like you more, shockingly enough. That's the odd thing. Again, one of the hardest lessons you're going to learn, or I've learned as a man, is that some things you have to do certain ways when it comes to women that you don't usually do. And one of those things is you gotta lie, right? I don't like to lie, but when it comes to women, I be lying. And white lies, right? Like there's things to just avoid arguments and problems. I don't just be lying about who I am. I never lie about who I am, you know, so I don't mislead people. But, you know, if I don't have anything pleasant to say, I just don't say anything. That works like wonders. A lot of women can't handle the truth, so you can't tell the truth. So inherently, you be lying. And also, just like I've realized, like I said in the prior comment, is like the more you try to go out your way and respect women, and you realize that you're putting your life in their frame and they're in control. And ultimately, they're going to resent you for being in control. They might like it because they feel safe and emotionally safe. But ultimately, they're going to feel like you're a pushover and that any girl could have you this way and that you're weak. And they want a man that's not going to put up with their ish. But the way they want the man not to put up with their ish is to just ignore them. They want a man to... This is why ghosting's so effective, because it says everything without saying anything. And so, a lot of time, if you want to learn how to master women, you got to learn how to say a bunch of stuff without saying nothing. You got to imply everything. And keep the explicit talk to a minimum, meaning like... if whatever you're going to do, just do it. Don't even try to have a conversation about it. Just do it. It's the best way I can put it.
But yeah guys, that's the reality. These are the type of men these women are swiping on and hooking up with, since no one actually gives a about your personality or charm when they are swiping on these dating apps.
Gilmore Girls? Oh, he got a Ferrari, Jenna.
Should I super like him?
Yeah.
We've matched a few times in the past. He's stunning.
My first impressions was, my lord, you are tall.
Who is Jack?
Oh! Oh! Super like.
They all say they do, but in reality, they are all lying. Because when it gets time to actually swipe, respond to a message, and show up to a date, they all go for the hot guy. Remember the my mouth girl?
Shit in my mouth.
Yep, that one. Now she did not instantly unmatch and block the dude, she actually responded,
What do you mean? What do you mean? So I just asked what drugs he was on tonight, and he didn't answer.
So he said something absolutely crazy, and he still got a response, while most men will never even get a response to a friendly, hey, how's your day?
In any case, I would only get like 1 to 2 matches per month, and the problem is a lot of those didn't even transpire in the dates anyway, because sometimes I would send a message to them and I would never get a message back, and it would just kind of fizzle out from there.
And here's another one.
He said, LOL, I meant more the spoony, but sure, we can do a date. And I said, oh, you're just looking for someone to spoon. He said, that's exactly it. I said, oh, I'm looking for more out of this app. This guy's response.
Penetration, classic. So clearly, dating apps are and if you can't beat them, join them and start fuckboying.
So if we look at our matches, we got 64 matches within 48 hours.
In any case, I would only get like 1 to 2 matches.
Yeah, I said this before in my prior videos. I've gotten over 400 matches on Hinge, and I guess 400. I've probably gotten more, but I guess 400 is the cap, the amount that you can see, right? People that are active, people that are waiting for a response, and people who are inactive, right? So they have like a list of it. But I've done well on dating apps, right? And I do agree that women are very shallow. I think they're more shallow than they've ever been. Because what's happening now is what my issue now is I'm matching with more girls than I actually have a connection with. So, it's kind of like a lose-lose situation, right? Because, yeah, you get the match, but you've got nothing in common with them. You have no chemistry with them. So, yeah. But like I said, if you have a good profile, you will get matches, and if you need more help with this, guess what, DM me on Instagram. Maybe I got a few pointers for you, what I'm saying? So follow my Instagram as well. It's the same name as my YouTube, Call Me Shape.
Per month.
Because if you want to pump and dump like a hot dude and you don't have the looks, it is still possible, but you're gonna have to use some highly unethical methods. But very effective.
And I actually did have a decent amount of success, but for one reason only. I was forced to be someone that I wasn't.
Now use them at your own risk, because I will not be responsible for any of the consequences resulting from applying these, okay? Since I once had a dude who got his car totaled after I taught him how to bang a tall hottie, since it turns out she actually had a boyfriend. So yeah, any problems you get into, that's on you. Now again, I do not recommend doing any of this, and I think that if you want to date, you should try to meet a wholesome person off the apps, since that will lead to more fulfillment in life. However, if you want a glimpse into the life of a boy and are only interested in pumping and dumping, then listen up. First of all, nobody cares about your personality on these apps. Since you're not swiping on personality, you're swiping on looks.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
I would heart it for the dog.
Do it.
And second, which is the most important quality of being a successful boy, and that is to lie. Lie like your life depends on it. Because the true art of being an excellent boy is giving a girl exactly what she wants, even though you absolutely do not have it.
But he said, I love you, so it felt exclusive to me. Stupid.
You see, boys are working with an amazing body and a great face, and still they lie, which means that you have to lie even better and harder than a true boy. Because you're basically marketing a shittier product, and that is all this comes down to, basic marketing. Which brings us to your dating profile. First up, lose the fat.
This is probably gonna be my number one advice of all night. You need better photos.
Sorry, there's just no way around this, since if you want to pump and dump like a true boy, you're gonna have to be lean.
He is tall and skinny.
Now you don't have to be bulky and you don't need a lot of mass, but you do have to be lean. So stop eating garbage, do push-ups and jump rope daily, and in 3 weeks you can easily lose a ton of fat and look a whole lot better than you.
The easiest way is just to eat more vegetables. I know I said this before as well in other videos. People don't eat enough veggies. Eat some broccoli, eat some spinach, eat some sweet potatoes. Every day you guys are eating processed food and processed junk. Chips, cookies, cakes, you know what I'm saying? Steaks and bacon and eggs, and you eat processed on top of processed foods. So yeah, eat more produce, things from the produce section. You know, rice, bean, greens, corn, couscous, millet. All these things are naturally low in fat. Processed foods are high in fat. Meat and dairy high in fat. Meat and dairy 50% fat. Dairy 70, 80% fat. Processed foods anywhere from between 50 to 80% fat. Vegetables anywhere between 1 to 10% fat. Rice is 1% fat. Potatoes 1% fat. Corn is 10% fat. So avocado is the only really high fat plant food you gotta avoid. But yeah, eat more veggies. People are eating so much junk and it comes up on their face. That's why for me, when I used to have acne really bad, the first thing I've learned that helped me out a lot is to eat better. Right? You think it's gonna be like all the skincare products sell you? No. I got clear skin from just having a good diet. You know, and the diet's gonna roll over into how your body looks, how you feel, everything. So I'm not saying you can never listen. I'm plant-based. I'm vegan. I'm not saying you got to be vegan, but if you're going to eat meat, you shouldn't eat it more than once a day, in my opinion, and you shouldn't eat it 2 days in a row. So every other day, once a day. That's what I would do if I eat meat. I don't even eat meat at all, but if I did, that's how I would do it. Most people eat way more than that. You know, I don't even want to get into it, but I do want to say this to put this into context. Americans on average eat 60 pounds of red meat a year. 60 pounds. 120 pounds of chicken a year. 40 pounds of cheese a year. Okay? That's over 200 pounds of organic material that never touches my body. Every year that touches most people's body. And I believe it's responsible for all types of issues. Again, we don't got to get into this here. You know, that's why I'm going to start my school community and we could talk about nutrition and health. And you could eat and do whatever the hell you want, but just make sure you're doing it with informed consent, meaning that you know what these things do to your body. And for most people, it just keeps them fat. Make them look like they're pregnant. The standard American diet is not healthy. You should avoid it, and you should definitely hit the gym. So, and eat veggies. Yeah, I said that before. Eat more veggies.
Right now. If you can't do that for just 3 weeks, you can't be a boy. Okay? It's that simple. So now that you're nice and lean, edit the fuck out of your photos. Go outside and take a bunch of photos in different locations around the city. These don't have to be special, just have a coffee, sit somewhere, stare at a thing, point at a thing, do a thing. It really doesn't matter because we'll fix everything in post. Now, there's a ton of tutorials and apps out there on how to edit your photos. Don't just stop at fixing your face. Fix the background, fix the shirt, fix the sky, fix whatever you need to fix to make sure that this picture looks sexy as fuck, okay? Now the goal is to look effortlessly sexy and affluent, not rich.
I think this is the wrong way to go about it. Go out there and do something dope and actually photograph it. Like, go for a run and photograph it. Yeah, I used to be a professional photographer, so a lot of my pictures are more professional because, one, I got the eye for professional photos, and two, I could take my own professional photos. So, you know, my main picture is a photo. I take it myself. So I think a good headshot with some good shadowing it is a good thing. But on top of that, just have an exciting life. I think your profile doesn't have to be this doctored up to be successful with women. In fact, and this is the point that they were making earlier, these F-boys, they actually don't go through all this trouble. They don't care. That's the thing I want you to understand. They don't care. The more women you get, the less you care about getting women. Like, I stopped talking to a girl I was on to last night, and I just don't give a F. In fact, I feel happy because now I got more time to get my videos done. Because I just spent a lot of time hanging out with her, talking to her. But now that she's gone, I got more time to work. You just can't care. You can't chase women. You have to make women chase you. That's the only way. If you ever approach this situation like women are exalted by you and they're just on a pedestal, you're going to be chasing after something that could always just reject you, right? They could always just be like, no matter how attractive, how desirable you are, women always have the right to reserve the right to just say no and not cooperate with you, not hang out with you, and cause you a bunch of drama. But you know what you do have control over? Your own success. And that should be your main purpose in life. Going after what you need to go after. That's what I would do. I don't care what age you are, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Men, we got time. You could be successful at any time. Benjamin Franklin became successful at 38, right? Like, at 38, you know what I'm saying? Ray Kroc at 70. I'm not saying you should wait till you're 70 to be successful, but just these are just examples. A lot of men, a lot of successful actors, oh my God, I'm stuttering on my words, successful actors got successful in their 50s. In their 40s. So it's never too late to get started on your path of success. But I would say that I know most people are not going to listen because they're desperate and they want to get some cheeks. So do what you got to do.
Very comfortable with your money. Trust me, subtle signs of affluence work 10 times better than ostentatious signs. Because now you don't just look good, but your lifestyle also looks good. And you can easily bump yourself from a 6 to a 7 by losing weight and editing your photos, and you can bump yourself from a 7 to an 8 by editing your lifestyle. Perfect, now we actually have something to work with. And now we start swiping like a maniac. Don't worry about what the girl looks like, since you're still a baby at this and you need to get some flight hours in. It's a lot easier to talk a 5 or a 6 into giving you her number and set up a date than it is with the 8s and 9s. So you want to start practicing your...
That's not true. And this is what a lot of men think. That is not true. They're equally as easy depending on who's talking to them. 8, 9s, and 10s are easy to the men that they find attractive and chaz. They're easy to those guys because they're going after them. This is what people understand. Attractive women chase attractive men like average women chase attractive men. The same type of thing. It's the same way. You know, the fact you think that like 8s and 9s and 10s are easier. I mean, 4, 5s and 6s are easier. They're no easier. In fact, they might be harder. I've seen attractive guys even including myself. I struggle with women that are like average looking to slightly above average. Those are the ones I get the most trouble from. It's when I get into the 8, 9s, and 10s, I'm at my sweet spot. Like, I'm comfortable there because those girls, I don't know. I think maybe they find that we're on the same level, you know. So they're not as threatened by my looks. But I think some girls who are like 5, 6s, and 4s, they're more threatened. They're worried I'm going to cheat, and so that becomes an issue. Yeah, but I think it's a huge myth that any girl at I don't care what attractive level she is, she's always easy to somebody and difficult to somebody else, no matter what. But let's read some of the comments and I'll take this bad boy home. All right, first comment says, in the dumpster fire of modern dating, women get played over and over by F-boys while the average guy hardly gets any matches or replies. That is the irony. You know, I do think that the average guy would be way better for these girls than these F-boys. But women like a good story. And average guys are way too nice. They don't take enough risks. They don't set enough boundaries. And they're not on their purpose. You know, so there's a bigger issue with nice guys not just being average looking, but living an average life where you're just conforming to the world just like a woman is, and so she could be your leader. Another comment says they're all screwing the same guys. Yeah, I've seen it firsthand. Like when I was in school, when I was in college, you know, one of my good friends, he was like crashing everybody. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, what? Like, and then he told me, he was like, yo, the more girls I get, like, it's almost like it promotes itself. You know what I'm saying? Because the more girls are curious. And I experienced the same thing when I became a photographer. When I was starting to be seen with a lot of beautiful women as a model photographer. And by the way, if you guys want to see proof of this, go to my Instagram. You'll see. You'll see that. I've kept a lot of my lifestyle there. But that was the highlight of my life. The more women I was seen with, the more girls I got. Hands down. You know, women like men that get women. I don't care what anybody says. Oh no, we don't want to get cheated on. We hate cheaters, but they date the guys that are most capable of cheating. Another comment says, "Yeah, there's a girl in my bed, but I left her to have breakfast with you." Absolute Chad, bro. You be surprised that could still possibly work. When girls come over to my crib, and I need to remove it, I never do, but I have a big box of Magnums on my bed. And it's like a 40 pack, and there's like 3 of them left. And I mean, I got used to them, you know what I'm saying? And then girls always come over like, oh, you have a bunch of sex, and I'm like, you know, in my mind, I'm like, it's just a good place to put it because it's in the middle of the bed. So if anything happens, it's right there. I don't gotta go fishing for it. But what I've realized, it made more women interested in me because they'll go up to the box, they'll be impressed by it, they'll open it, see there's only a few left, and it's almost like if they liked me at this level, it became that level right away. And all I could say is, you know, women are not who you think they are. They're not, and they've never been. And you know, I'm gonna stop trying to figure them out. I know we making videos trying to figure them out or help you guys figure them out, but I'm more concerned about getting this money. So I appreciate you guys for watching this video. I need to get back to making more videos, focus on my purpose. I want to drop 3 to 5 videos a day. And so enjoy this one. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.